Cry America, a non-profit organization dedicated to improving the lives of underprivileged children, hosted its annual Cry Gala dinner at the Taj Pier Hotel in New York City on May 19th. During the New York City Gala, Project Sunlap was showcased. The project supports before and after school programs including soccer camps for children of sex workers in 3 red light districts in Calcutta. Patrick Bacco, Director of Fundraising at Cry America's annual New York Fundraising Gala, emphasized the organization's work in education, health and nutrition, safety and protection, and child participation. Initiatives include teaching families how to grow fruits and vegetables, providing prenatal and postnatal care, addressing malnutrition, and tackling psychological issues like depression and bullying. Amongst the many supporters and patrons of Cry America, the gala was also attended by the Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parekh and Assemblywoman Jennifer Rajkumar. The gala welcomed Neelam Kothari Soni, a renowned actress and fine jewelry magnate, as the celebrity guest. Known for her roles in hit films and the Netflix series The Fabulous Lives of Bollywood Lives, Soni brought star power and charisma to the event. She expressed her admiration for Cry America's work and stressed the importance of education and nutrition for children's brighter futures. Neelam Kothari Soni personally thanked donors and engaged in pledge sessions emphasizing the transformative power of philanthropy.
Important thing for me why I'm associated with Cry for such a long time is mainly to raise funds and impact children's lives. A lot of underprivileged children do not have the facilities, they don't have the education, the health care, and using this as an opportunity, we are able to help them. In last, association with Cry America for more than 10-15 years, we have been able to impact 750,000 kids' lives, which is unbelievable, and that's what keeps us up and running.
What motivated you to support Cry and come for this event graced by Neelam?
Well, I'm coming here for last several years since inception. I always believe in education, and this Cry America is doing a lot of work on initiative on the education, particularly in the rural area of the India. And we are today very happy to see the Neelam here, who is a well-known popular Bollywood actress and gracing our event. So thank you, Neelamji.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you feel about this event, Neelam? Especially, I know you feel very strongly about underprivileged children.
Well, I'm just waiting for the event to start, and I'm looking to have some great donations tonight. I'm looking forward.
Cry is doing a wonderful job for many years, and we have attended several functions, and they do great thing for the children and for the education.
Hi, I'm Sangeeta Mudnal, and I am a Cry donor for almost 20 years.
That's wonderful. What made you come tonight? What are we looking forward to?
Me and my husband, Jigar Thakkar, we have been supporting Cry for almost 20 years. So we are hosting this event in kind of with Lipika, Patrick, Shefali, Neelam, and we have lots of guests and coming over, and we hope to have a good time, raise money for a good cause.
So talk about your association with Cry and what made you support them.
Yeah, so we've been associated with Cry since 1999, and we were very close to the volunteers. We were actually part of the volunteering group early few years. And then over the years, we started getting more and more attached to the cause and the impact it has. And the thing that completely changed my view about Cry was when I visited one of the projects we were funding in Jharkhand. So I visited the site for 3 days. And they took me to multiple villages where I saw the real impact, right? So you can hear about how many thousands of people are getting impacted and how many hundreds of villages and all of that. But nothing hits you as hard as when you see the reality on the ground. And I saw these places with very little infrastructure, a lot of poverty, and yet a lot of hope in all those places. And I see Cry volunteers were supporting by getting little children vaccinated. They were looking at new mothers or women who are about to be mothers and providing them nutrition so they can actually feed the children. And I see them educating the young girl children for to make sure they avoid getting into child marriages.
So, Patrick, talk about tonight's fundraising event. You've already crossed like $1 million last year. What should we look forward to now?
Wow, this New York Gala with Neelam Kothari for Cry America is shaping up to be our biggest event here in New York so far. And our target tonight is to raise $200,000.
That's great. How's been the 5 galas so far?
Wow, it's been a whirlwind. We just came back from the West Coast where we raised almost $600,000. So if we hit our target tonight and then Sunday in Houston, we will cross $1 million again this year. Yeah, so fingers crossed, that people are generous and support our work with children.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
My name is Satwant Narula. I'm retired now. I worked with pharmaceuticals.
How long you've been associated with Cry?
About 5 years. About 5 years. And I basically, I didn't know, I knew about Cry, but actually at a friend's daughter's baby shower, I met a lady who was actually doing something for Cry, and I jumped on the opportunity. For me, everything is about kids for me. Okay, I have a deep, deep commitment to kids, mainly because I lost one of my children. So for me, Cry was the right thing at the right time to start working with. I love their work. I like their model a lot because they are very inclusive. They will involve other NGOs. They make grants to other NGOs. So I think it's the right kind of foundation for me to get involved with. And I have sort of taken gingerly steps, but now I'm fully committed to Cry. So I'm getting more and more involved with them, especially in the US.
Does the association go beyond the financial contribution?
It is going to now because I am going to commit to be on their advisory board for US. So I think it is definitely going to go beyond that. I'm very interested in Cry extending its footprint in India a little bit more, especially towards the north. So I'm going to try and work on that a little bit.
Have you traveled to India and seen one of them?
So I'm going to do that next year. I was actually talking to Patrick and said next year when I go to India, I definitely want to go to one of the projects and see what is happening there, myself.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, it is my Indian values and my faith that brought me to this place of victory. I bowed all the way down to Goddess Durga, and she showered me with her blessings. And that is why I stand before you as a State Assembly woman. And my dad always told me that if you want to win, you have to be like Arjuna in the Mahabharata. There were 5 Pandav brothers, and they all had to shoot a bird, but only one of them was successful, and that was Arjuna. And when they asked him why, he said, I saw only the eye of the bird. And to this day, when I talk to my dad, he tells me, focus on the eye. And we all know what that means. And not only did we win, but we ended up winning by the largest margin of any challenger in the whole state. And now the entire Indian community has a seat at the table of power in government in this state. And now it is my mission to lift up all of the children of our community. And that is why the work of Cry America is so dear to me. I also want to say to everyone, send your children to me. And I will make your children as powerful as possible. So you are my Indian family, and the keys to my office are your keys. Please never forget that you have someone in the halls of power who is fighting for you. And I'd like to say that we have never been more powerful as Indian Americans than we are now. There are Indians running for President of the United States. An Indian woman has been appointed to head domestic policy for the president. Vice President Kamala Harris is half Indian. And we are growing exponentially in the government field. And I'd like to say that Today we are using our collective power for the children of India. And I'm reminded of my Indian ancestry. It shaped my identity. My mom was born in a mud hut in the refugee camp of Rohtak after partition. And through hard work and struggle, she became a doctor. She went to Banaras Hindu University, some of you may know. My dad became a doctor too. He went to Maulana Azad University. And like a lot of families here, they left everything they knew, $300 in a suitcase, and they came to America. And I feel blessed to be the first in my family born in this great country. But my mom would always proudly say, because she came from the world's largest democracy, she says, this is a democratic household. So if there was a fight in the house, we would solve it through the family court system. We'd all gather in the kitchen, one person would be a lawyer for one side, one person would be a lawyer for the other side, one person would be a judge, and we'd argue it out. And that's how I grew up, and I thought that was normal. And years later, I became a lawyer, and my mom still wonders why. But let's always remember that Mahatma Gandhi inspired the civil rights movement of this country. Martin Luther King famously said that Gandhi was the guiding light of his movement for nonviolent social change. So it is time for us as Indian Americans to own our place in American history. We are part of the civil rights tradition of this country.